What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another international roundup as we can kiss goodbye to international football until the end of the season, much to our delight. Now let's concentrate on Tottenham
not for today's video.
Not for today, but till the end of the season. It will be a welcome return, and I think we have come through the international break unscathed. Touched wood.
Probably, and then some, I would say, with some of the goals and performances.
Yeah, there's been some top performances from Spurs players around the international break, but we're going to bring you the international roundup from yesterday, from basically the Korea game until last night. Korea won 3-0 against Thailand. We brought you it in the Tottenham update, but we thought we'd bring you the goal that Sonny scored. Obviously, Sonny got a goal, really good performance, man of the match display from Sonny. But let's go and have a look at the goal he scored. Classic Sonny goal.
Trademark Son, step over, take it to the left, and bam, no one's stopping that. Left-footed finish through the legs of the keeper, and that makes it 2-2 over the international. So let's hope he takes his form into the weekend. And look, he's playing really well at the moment. So great stuff for Sonny.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sonny got back on the score sheet for Korea. 2 goals in his 2 games in this international break. Wales against Poland in a distraught. The Welsh are absolutely distraught about last night, losing on penalties to Poland. That knocks them out of the Euros. Did finish 0-0 on the night. Ben Davies captained the side. Brennan Johnson played 70 minutes on the night. Ben Davies did dispatch his penalty, but unfortunately, I don't know who missed for Wales.
Dan James missed the last one.
James.
It was 4-4 going to sudden death, and then Poland scored theirs, and Dan James missed the last penalty.
Absolutely gutting for the Welsh last night, to be fair. But
I think Davis was saying before the game, if he would have got to his 3rd international tournament in his career, that would have been something he wouldn't really have believed, when he first started playing for Wales. And such a shame that they couldn't quite make it on the cusp, but Poland just about getting there. It was a real defensive job from Poland. If anyone looked like they were going to score, it looked like it was going to be Wales, but unfortunately couldn't get it over the line and took it to penalties, and that was it.
Do you reckon that this is his last chance for a tournament, or do you reckon maybe he'll be there for the World Cup?
I would say, actually, even if he's not Spurs, I say there's a good chance, just because I look at Wales' back line and I don't see many good young defenders coming through, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's at 34 still playing for Wales. I think Chris Gunter still gets into the squad. I think or he was until recently. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ben Davies, even if he's playing for Swansea or something, if he's still in the squad.
Yeah,
Or whether they make the tournament, that's another question.
Yeah. But let's go and look at the England game. They drew 2-2 with Belgium. James Maddison coming on with about 26 minutes left to play, getting himself an assist. Really nice assist, actually, for Jude Bellingham. I only saw the first half of this game. I saw that Lukaku assist. What a goal that was with the outside of the boot. This Maddison assist wasn't exactly of that quality, but still of a high quality. I thought that pass for Jude Bellingham in the last minute, very clutch goal to equalise for England. But let's go and have a look at the assist from James Maddison.
Yeah, I thought it was a really great cameo in general for Maddison. And this assist is underrated. Obviously, Lukaku's assist was ridiculous, but he's got a lot of defenders around him. He's got to pick out Bellingham in a crowded penalty area with the outside of his boot with limited space, and also with virtually the last kick of the game. So it was a really great moment for Maddison. I thought after he came off the bench, England did a lot better, and he was central to them getting back in the game. And I thought it was a really good cameo from him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see it. I did see a few highlights, but it's good to see James Maddison doing well for England, because we were only speaking a couple of days ago saying, he's always on the periphery, and when he does get his chance, doesn't really grab it. But do you reckon that that's a performance saying, look, I'm here and I want to grab that chance?
Yeah, potentially. What I would say to that is obviously Rice is definitely going to be playing. Bellingham is probably his competition in the number 10, and he set Bellingham up to score, so that's probably not going to do himself any favours to take Bellingham's spot. He actually came off of Mainu, so he played in a 3 with Rice and Mainu, and that helped him, which is a midfield 3 I'm calling for. However,
a midfield of Rice and Bellingham.
Rice, Bellingham, and I think it was more of 2 number 10s kind of thing. And because it was late in the game, but the problem with that is Mainu got man of the match. So as much as Maddison came on and impressed, Mainu actually got man of the match. So he's maybe Mainu put himself even higher claim to get a start in the Euros.
You'd probably say when you're playing against, in a weird way, like obviously James Maddison is more experienced than Kobbie Mainoo, obviously. But Kobbie Mainoo has those kind of different assets that you want maybe when you're playing the kind of bigger teams. When you're playing like the kind of, Spain's and France's, and then maybe you go with that midfield three of Mainoo, Bellingham and Rice. And then if you're playing a team that you're comfortably better than, then maybe you swap that out for Maddison.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way forward.
Let's go and look at the Uruguay game as Uruguay beat Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast beat Uruguay by 2-1. But Rodrigo Bentancur playing 45 minutes, getting more minutes in his legs. In the first game, he only came on, I think, for the last 20 minutes or so. And then in this game, getting 45 minutes. So good to see him getting some minutes in his belt.
Yeah, it's going to be needed. Let's hope for a strong end to the season. I think what will be important for Bentancur is him building up momentum going into next season and potentially into the Copa America, so that he's fully back to his best next season. I'm still expecting him to, contribute between now and the end of the season. I'm sure he'll get some starts and I'm sure he'll maybe improve his performances from what we saw a few months ago. But the more minutes and the more momentum he can build, and then he can hopefully start next season firing, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Do you think that he starts this weekend for Spurs? Bentancur? Basuma didn't play internationals.
That's why I don't think he'll start. I think Basuma will start because Ban just had 2 weeks with him, so I think he'll give him another chance.
Next up, we go to Senegal. Unused sub, Pape Matar, but Senegal did win 1-0 against Benin, so not much to talk about with that one.
It's
good to see Pape Matar getting a rest.
Exactly, keep him fresh. He's going to need that energy for the last 10 games, so I'm happy with that.
Denmark beat Faroe Islands by 2-0 last night. Højbjerg was in the news for pushing over the ref in the first game, but this game he captains a side, plays 90 minutes and scores a goal as well. And let's have a look at the goal.
Yeah, it looks like capitalised on a mistake and not the best video, but he finishes it. I'm pretty sure it goes in the back of the net.
It does, just after that pause. But that pause actually happened in real life.
In real life, exactly. Everyone was just so shocked, I think, that Højbjerg was getting a shot.
Nice finish, though.
To be fair, he does score quite a few goals, doesn't he, for Denmark, so shouldn't be that surprised. But yeah, good for him. And we'll see how he ends the season as well. And I don't know, he had some comments as well, apparently, talking about his frustration time and game time. But we'll see how it goes at the end of the season for Højbjerg.
Yeah, next up is Romania against Colombia. Finished 3-2 to Colombia. Radu Dragusin got taken off at half-time, so only playing half the game. We don't know the story with Mickey van der Ven if he's going to be fit. So if he isn't fit, then it's obviously good news that Radu Dragusin got a bit of a rest.
Yeah, definitely. I hope he wasn't taken off because he was playing badly, but I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it's just, it's a friendly and you got to give everyone time when there's international friendlies. That's the opportunity to, see other players. So I'm hoping that's the cause, but clearly they conceded a few goals, so defensively it wasn't that strong, but I'm sure it wasn't just down to Radu.
Nah, Radu was the standout, as always.
I'm sure.
Spain 3, Brazil 3 in a really big game with a lot of goals, obviously, as you can see. But Spurs players were both unused subs, with Pedro Porro and Richarlison not seeing any minutes. So Richarlison's gone away with internationals and hasn't seen 1 minute in the 2 games that Brazil have played. Pedro Porro has played 90 minutes in the first game and 0 minutes in the second game. So good to see. I guess there's 2 ways you could look at it, saying is there a problem with Richarlison in the Brazil camp? He came out and spoke about a very heart-opening kind of interview about depression and stuff like that. Pedro Porro, it's good to see him get a rest for the second game, though.
Yeah, obviously he played the first game impressed, so hopefully it was a case of they've seen enough, don't need to play him again. Maybe that was the case. But in terms of Richarlison, it's interesting because Brazil don't really play with a recognised number 9, or they haven't in the last 2 games. I think Rodrigo's been playing kind of a false 9 position with Vinicius on the left and either Rafinha or Endrick on the right. And so it's a weird one that he hasn't seen any minutes at all, not even off the bench. Because when you're looking to turn to a striker, you would have thought he'd be first on the list. But maybe, look, you got to remember he was injured, wasn't he? So maybe he's still not 100%.
So why take him then?
Maybe he just, I don't know. It's a good question. Why take him? I don't know. But maybe he's not.
And last but not least, Argentina 3, Costa Rica 1. Cuti Romero playing 90 minutes. Giovanni Lo Celso playing 72 minutes. No goal contributions this time for either of them. Romero and Lo Celso both did score in the first game. against El Salvador. But yeah, Romero seems like the only player out of our whole international roster, I think, that played both games, the majority of it.
Yeah, and he was talking about how he wants to play in the Copa and the Olympics. And God, that kind of is not great news if that's the case. He's not going to get a break. But maybe because he feels like he's a very important member of that backline, isn't he, for Argentina? We saw him, obviously, in the World Cup, was brilliant. And now with Otamendi getting a bit older, he's maybe the next in line to be that new leader at the back. So, so you get those players with each country. Argentina have like Van Dijk, who's just like a stalwart, plays every game. Like maybe Romero kind of wants to be that for Argentina.
But the problem with the Olympics is that it starts 3 days before the season finishes.
It starts or ends?
Starts.
I read that it was ended before the season began.
No.
No? Okay, maybe I read that wrong.
Sorry, before the new season.
Right.
The Olympics starts 3 days before the new season starts.
Okay. Well, that's not great news at all.
Sorry, you're right.
You're right. Finishes. Yeah, that's why I read it. Finishes.
Finishes 3 days before, so he's going to miss the start of the season regardless if he plays in the Olympics.
He'll miss the first game, yeah.
Yeah, which is not great. I mean, you can't, like...
Following a Copa America as well. He literally wouldn't have had a break.
Copa America, Olympics, start of the Premier League season. Everyone kind of laid into Romero, didn't they, when he wanted to go early for the World Cup and stuff like that. And now this is just another of the long list.
We'll see if it happens. Maybe Tottenham will block it.
Yeah, I don't know if they can block it. Can they block it?
They can't really block it, but they can maybe put in a good word kind of thing. But in terms of Lo Celso, it's just funny how crucial he is to Argentina. He seems to start every game. Seems to be always such an important player for them.
Never injured for Argentina.
Never injured for them. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
But yeah, that is your international roundup. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.